I guess good day, everyone. I'm Jole Gabrielle. I'm an energy healer, clairvoyant, and medical intuitive. It truly is an honor and a privilege to be here today and to work with the universal energy of individuals and the earth. And I just like to start out my talk with a prayer, and that I use whenever I am doing healing or reading for anyone. And I just want you guys to know that I see with my eyes closed. So for most of this talk, I'll probably have my eyes closed because I will be channeling energy from the divine. So I'd just like to say thank you so much for this opportunity to be able to share my blessings and gifts. And it is with humility, gratitude, and reverence that we ask Mother, Father, God, divine intelligence, source energy, creator of all that is, to open us up as a channel of love, light, blessings, compassion, and truth, so that we may assist you in letting go of any of the negative thoughts, the limiting beliefs, the people, the negative energies, the self-sabotaging behaviors, the past lives, memories, or experiences that may be getting in the way of you living a life of optimal health and the maintenance of that, financial prosperity, and the expansion of that, as well as magnetizing to you more loving, fulfilling, lasting, and committed relationships, as well as partnerships that support your life in the highest and the best way with grace and ease. Thank you. It is done, and so it is. So I would just like to, especially those of you that may have depression or anxiety, let me let you know right now that it doesn't belong to you. Being, a human being on this earth, oftentimes we're in a place where we are programmed and conditioned with a virus of negativity. So all of the things that are positive in our lives, we wind up just having them as expectations or putting them to the side. But the things that are negative in our lives, the things that are not working, is where we seem to want to focus more often. And that's because we've been conditioned that way through our programming, schooling, our parents, their parents, TV, and all of those things have programmed us to look at what is not working instead of what is. So today, we want to take some time and really look at how to take our power back and to take responsibility in order to focus in on what we do want, to create a vision and to also connect with divine without having to have a middleman or anything in between. So that brings us to unearthing our soul architecture. So what is the soul architecture, you might ask? That is, from my knowledge and wisdom and teaching, it is our chakra system. So it consists of a higher self, which connects you to the divine. And that is truly the divine middleman between you and the heavenly spiritual energy. It is all the higher self also sends messages to you, helping you move throughout your day, throughout your life, and to make better decisions. But oftentimes the ego can kind of get in the way. So it's important that we have the ego, which is necessary for our survival, to default to the messages from the higher self. So we'll be getting into how to do some of that today as well. We also have what's known as a chakra system. Now, in Sanskrit, chakra means spinning wheel. And it's beautiful because what it does is it spins out and then it creates an aura layer. So the first chakra is an aura layer about 1 inch to 4 inches away from your body, and then 2, 3, and so on and so forth. We have innumerable number of chakras. Nevertheless, there are 7 main that we work with. This then creates our aura layer. Now, aura layers are what hold the pictures. So it's like a person's personal space. And Aoibhinn is going to go into that more deeply. So I will deal with the chakras. We also have what's known as an astral body. And the astral body is connected to us by a silver string at our belly button. And the astral body is what leaves when we sleep, and we can utilize this part of us to go out and help us problem solve and get answers to our questions and our problems within life. So the astral body is a really important part of our soul architecture. We also have a very, very vital part of our spiritual development, which is a grounding cord, which keeps us rooted and grounded into reality and into Mother Earth. So all the center of the head, so all these systems make up what is known as our soul architecture. And once we begin to tap in and utilize that, we can then begin to let go of some of the traumas, the depression, and the anxieties that we feel. And we can then begin to positively program ourselves and create a vision of success and just positive life force energy, positive future. That's very important to our spiritual, emotional, as well as physical development. Because the whole point of us being in this earthly, I guess you could say, program or illusion is to connect with each other. The connecting, atoms and cells and all of us are interconnected. And that is also another reason or another way we have been programmed is we're starting to distance ourselves from each other. So today we really want to bring in some positive life force energy. We want to make sure we connect with Mother Earth and we enlighten or awaken our soul architecture so that we can better connect with ourselves, those around us, and the world at large. So let's talk about the grounding cord. The grounding cord is essential because what it does is it brings you into the present moment. And the point of power is always going to be in the present moment. So one of the things that is very helpful, especially if you have negative energies in your body, is to visualize yourself with a grounding cord at the base of your spine or in the first chakra, which would be between your sit bones. And you can visualize a grounding cord of a natural earth element. It can be a tree trunk, a rope, a tunnel of water, a beam of light. It can also be a tunnel of fire, lava, whatever it is, a quartz crystal. And you see yourself create this grounding cord in your mind, and you just take the time to move through Mother Earth's crust, the lithosphere, the asthenosphere, but then you root yourself into Mother Earth in her core. You clean off your grounding cord because how do you do that? Gold is the highest vibration in healing. Roses are the universal symbol for transmuting negative energy into positive energy. And that way, when you have these golden rose-shaped cleaning utensils, they clean off the grounding cord. And then you put a golden sun above your head. You would open your crown like you would the lens of a camera. You bring that golden sun down through your channels, and then you allow it to cascade down that grounding cord. You watch every detail of this as this golden sun moves through the inside and the outside of your grounding cord, all the way down to the roots. What does this do? This allows for you to have a channel down into Mother Earth to move out negative energy. It's also clean and filled with gold light so that it maintains its positive messages, its positive connection, and you maintain a positive attitude that sits you right in the present moment. Also, another exercise you can do, which takes advantage of this grounding cord, is that whatever disease and illness or emotional traumas you're holding in your body, this allows for a portal for you to remove those energies out. So what you do, let's say you're feeling sadness and grief, that's in the heart chakra. You can turn that a bright red. Where's all the sadness and grief in my bodies? Ooh, I feel it in my shoulders, my shoulder blades. You turn that energy a bright color, bright red, bright yellow, and then you flush it down your grounding cord. And then you fill up those spaces and places within your body with that gold light, giving you a new perspective, a new attitude, and a new way of doing things. See, it's just such a beautiful experience that you can have with yourself and gain so much more self-love, self-reliance, and responsibility once you wake up and remember who you are and the power that is housed within you. So now we'll move into the chakras. Now, each chakra, I was taught by my wonderful teacher, the Reverend Judy Nelson, in my clear sight training, clairvoyant training, that each one of your chakras, before you get here, you make an agreement to learn certain things and evolve your soul in a certain way when you come to Earth. So before you get here, your chakras pack luggage, which are your experiences. And when you were born, this luggage gets unpacked throughout your life. And these are the lessons that help your soul to evolve. So on a root chakra level, which is the color red, we're dealing with safety, security, survival, and this also deals with financial prosperity along with 2. When this first one is out of alignment, we're feeling a lot of fear. So a lot of us are stagnated and stuck in our first chakra because we have so much fear. Fear of not have poverty, fear of sickness, fear of these things that in our human bodies, these are rights we all should have, right? A right to an education, a right to a place to live, and a right to be able to feed our families. Nevertheless, things have gone kind of discombobulated in that area. So it's kind of up to us to empower ourselves to reach and achieve those things. So working with the chakras and moving out the fear down that grounding cord is an important aspect to being able to engage and execute to be able to take care of you and your family. When we get to the second chakra, this is an orange color, and this is where worthiness, creativity, sensuality, and sexuality is. And it's right there where your reproductive organs are. So it makes sense, right? But here, when we are out of alignment, we feel a lot of guilt. So what is sensuality and sexuality? I mean, of course, we always want to go to the basest of things, which is intimacy, which is very important. Nevertheless, it also deals with you being able to get people to come in and help you support your goals and help you reach them. So it's about being able to actually have a good relationship with yourself and those in the world around you so they can help you move your life forward and you can help them. Then we come up into the solar plexus chakra, which is right around the sternum area. And this is a beautiful, bright yellow color like your own personal power or your sun. And this moves us forward. So it's about motivation, discipline, personal power, and just your ability to assert yourself. Now, these lower 3 chakras, they are connected to the legs, which are the channels of manifestation, meaning moving your life forward. So these deal with execution and action. Now, we get to the heart chakra, which is a beautiful green color. Now, when the solar plexus is out of alignment, we're dealing with a lot of shame, right? And it's really difficult to move our lives forward when we're feeling fear, guilt, and shame. So that grounding cord can really help us to move those energies out and down into Mother Earth, because really she's the only one that can process that negative energy into positive life force energy. Those around you cannot handle it. So oftentimes when you're feeling these feelings and frustrations, take a moment to the side and send that energy to Mother Earth, because she can then turn it into something better. And then you just fill up with the gold light from the divine into something new. Now, back to the heart chakra, which is a beautiful green color. And I think we're all familiar with what this chakra is about, which is love, compassion, forgiveness, sharing. Sometimes when this is out of alignment, we're feeling a lot of anger, frustration, also a lack of love. So this one here is just unforgiveness. And when we're stuck in a place of resentment, rejection, and regret, we're very unforgiving. And it's difficult for the messages from the divine to come through and then for us to execute or manifest that. So it's important that we keep our heart clean and clear. Now, moving up into the throat chakra, which is right here where our voice is at, this is dealing with positive communication. And when this is out of alignment, what are we doing? We're not speaking the truth. We're exaggerating. We're lying. And we're also more involved in or or more caring more about what other people think or feel about us, instead of us really being authentically coming from a place of truth. This is a beautiful, I would say, like, I think indigo color here, turquoisey. And then we get to the center of the head, and we have this beautiful blue color here, which, when it's out of alignment, what is it? Insanity. We're not thinking clear. We're not being lucid. But when we are, this is a very clear, we have a vision, we have a strategy. And the beautiful thing about the brain is we have a right and a left hemisphere, right? We have masculine and feminine, and we have the intuitive and the logical side. So part of getting in touch with your soul architecture is being able to integrate right and left brain energies with one another. So then we have the silver or the gold, whatever you want to, both of those intertwined with the crown, which then allows for us to really communicate and connect with the divine. Now, each one of these spin and they create the aura layer. And we hold patterns or viruses in the chakras sometimes, which then emit pictures on our aura layer, which then we magnetize these experiences. And also in our aura layer, there could be past life experiences. I'm not going to go into it too much, but if you realize that you're holding the pattern in the chakra, there's a way that to get rid of that pattern. And then there's pictures in our aura layer, which are our triggers. And oftentimes these are past life experiences from my learning. And once we get rid of these patterns within and traumas within the chakras, then we can pop out these pictures in the aura layers, and we can get rid of these experiences so people don't trigger us as much. So you see how working with the soul architecture, or even realizing that it exists, allows for us to then begin to really empower ourselves. And it's something that's been taken out of our everyday life, or it's been removed, and now we place someone else in that position to help us heal and grow. When in organic and holistic way, it's really up to us to have mentors that can maybe push us to then begin to work and wake up our soul architecture. But this is such an important part of our development. Now, chakra systems are energies in your bodies, as I've said before, which either help or hurt depending upon how open and closed they are. Now, there is Ambika Waters and her book, The Chakra System. And there's also Anadea Judith, who is fabulous with explaining and helping us know when our chakras are either too closed or too open, and what some of those behaviors look like. So at the root chakra level, we talked about that fear. And what it can do is, once this fear begins to take on density, that's when we begin to manifest dis-ease and illness. So I want to break it down a little more simply. So think about the chakra systems like this. You receive messages from the divine. Your higher self receives them. They come down into your right and left brain. So the right brain, the intuitive side, is what receives the messages. And then it communicates to the left side of the brain to say, hey, we need to create an agenda and a strategy to make sure this happens. Then it drops down into the throat and you speak it into existence. And then you go into the heart and you have enough love for yourself and your environment in order to drop it down into that solar plexus, to know that you are worthy, or to have enough power and enough motivation to do what it is you need to do to make this happen. You drop it down into 2, knowing that you are worthy, and then you create a plan of action. And then the first chakra then goes into the execution of it, right? So that's kind of the puzzle pieces and how you put that together. So then it lets you know, where are you stuck? You say, oh, I have great ideas. I have great plans. I'm really intuitive. I know how to talk about it. I know how to love enough. And then we as women sometimes get down to these lower chakras, stall, right? So then we begin to work with these lower chakras, like, it's very difficult for me to manifest or to move this forward, or my lack of follow through. Now you know how to work with these chakras for that. Now, the arms are your channels of creativity, right? It makes sense. The heart. right? And we know that with love and with creativity, that is also a second chakra, but the second and the fourth, they really communicate with each other, because you think about relationships, you think about love. I mean, they're all intertwined, but 2 and 4 really kind of speak to each other. So there, what happens with creativity is that you love enough to sort of create. So any of you writers out there, or creators and artists, be very careful and be gentle with yourself, because when you are creatively blocked, it's time for you to work with those 2 and those 4 energies. For those of you that are afraid to speak your truth, that there is something you want to work with, that throat chakra and the heart, having enough love for yourself and actually getting your thoughts clear, thinking about how to say something. There's nothing wrong with practicing, with writing things down, with having scripts in your life, to where when you get into these situations where you want to exaggerate or fail to speak the truth, you already have something ready for you to speak. These things are important for you to really let go of some of these negative ideas and feelings in your hearts and in your minds that you find to be challenging to release. When you tune in to the chakras and to your energies, you can then begin to fix the dial it up, dial it down, move out some of these energies down the grounding cord, bringing in that gold light from the divine for new. It's like making new land in your body. It's like making new thoughts and opening up room and space for you to heal and to grow. It's such a beautiful thing when you begin to take your own power back. Let's talk about now the center of the head. If you were to draw a line between above your ear, each ear, and then from your brow straight to the back of your head, where those 2 lines intersect is the center of your head. Now, some people call this the pineal gland, which is the seat of where the divine dwells and gives off all that life force energy. It's like the hub of wisdom and knowledge. And right here is oftentimes right where we get a lot of our negative programming to sit. So really working on your thoughts through affirmations, through visualizations, all of that good stuff. Also hypnosis, and I'd like to lay on the table, the Jose Silva method is really great for a countdown and to actually relax your mind and allow for this chakra to do what it does without too much interference. So there are things out there to help you work with your energy centers to really open you up and allow for you to let go and bring in more of what is going to connect you to the divine life force energy within you, your environment, and the world around you. So just to end, I'd like to just briefly take you through a quick meditation to just show you how it works and to feel that energy. So you want to put your feet flat on the floor, your palms face up. Bring your awareness to between your sit bones as you can meditate with your eyes open or closed. You want to make sure your grounding cord is 6 inches in diameter, connected to your first chakra. And I want you to visualize a grounding cord of a natural earth element as it moves through the chair you're sitting in, through the floor. It moves through Mother Earth, the lithosphere, then the asthenosphere, and it roots itself into the core of Mother Earth. And what you want to do is give gratitude and reverence and thanks to Mother Earth for allowing you to live on her and for her feeding you, clothing you, and giving you life. And then I always ask her, what would you like for me to do for you? And she always tells me, plant a tree. But whatever she tells you, just make sure that you honor that. You want to clean off the grounding cord with golden rose-shaped cleaning utensils. Mine, I use scrubbing bubbles, and I blanket the inside and the outside of my grounding cord with this essence. I open my crown like I would the lens of a camera, a golden sun above my head. And as I'm cleaning off the grounding cord, I take a minute, then I allow for these golden rose-shaped scrubbing bubbles to fall into the core of Mother Earth, turning into positive creative life force energy for anyone to use. Then I'll bring that golden sun down through my channels of the chakras, and then let that blanket my grounding cord, and it goes down like melted chocolate, or it cascades down like a waterfall, all the way to the roots, and any excess goes into Mother Earth. I will pull my aura in 1.5 feet around me, which is 18 inches in circumference all the way around, 18 inches in front of me, behind me, to the right, to the left of me, above and below me, which means some of it goes down into Mother Earth. I then snap my astral body in, feet in my feet, knees in my knees, hips in my hips, hands in my hands, elbows in my elbows, shoulders in my shoulders, head in my head, and my astral body fits inside of me like my hand fits inside of a glove. I will clean out the center of my head by placing a rose, which is a universal kind of trash bag, 5 feet outside my aura layer. And then I commence to putting all people, places, and things that I can remember into that rose outside my aura. Why am I doing that? Because I'm giving them all of their energy back. And then I put a golden sun above my head, which then calls all my energy back from them. You know, so this is how we exercise and we do the soul architecture. And when we call our energy back into that golden sun above our head, and we give all that energy back to them, we are then being able to know where we end and begin and other people end and begin, taking back responsibility for the way our lives are looking. It's such a beautiful thing. I call my higher self above me. Most of the time, we don't listen to our higher self. So it goes away and it does whatever it wants to do. And then we're spending our time listening to other people, taking advice, taking in all this energy that doesn't belong to us. So by calling my higher self back above me, I am now in alignment with my highest good. Calling all my energy back into that golden sun, I open my crown like the lens of a camera. I bring that golden sun down and I allow it to extend and to expand into my body and then push out into my aura layer. So now I'm organically and holistically sitting in my own positive life force energy. And when I put this stuff into the what I like to call the spiritual detritus into that rose to the right or to the left outside my aura layer, 5 feet away from me, I give it an energetic push. I blow it up. I turn it into fireworks, which is a positive creative life force energy for anyone to use. Now, John and I, we have on Elevated Planet a whole series of these meditations. So if it's been challenging for you to follow me, no worries. I'm giving you the Cliff Note version, but there are videos that go into this into detail. Now, the astral body, as I say, oftentimes it is not in our bodies. We are in a state of fight and flight often. So our feet, the aura layer's feet, the astral body's feet is hanging out of our feet. It's a little to the right. It could be a little to the left. So what we want to do is call it back all the way in so that we are present. When we call back, when we ground, pull our aura in, higher self above us, astral body snapped in, cleaning out the center of our head. Now we are in the present moment and the point of power. So this is some of the ways that when you wake up in the morning, your feet hit the ground, pull your aura in, higher self above you, astral body snapped in, and then you're on your way. And throughout your day, check in. Any negative energy, move it out into that rose outside your aura, give it a push, blow it up, golden sun, fill up. And so this is a way in which, you know how you have water and when you're thirsty, you can drink it. It's the same with your spirituality. Once you understand and know that you are made up of divine and magical things, and you start to work with them, life begins to look differently. I'm so honored and grateful for this opportunity to share my gifts with you. And if there's any questions or you have anything you'd like to talk to me about deeper, I am here and I am so willing and ready to help. Thank you so much, John. Thank you, Aoibhinn. And I'm going to turn it back over to you guys.